we do gonna wait for more hot take, but I just found the other one off the internet, so we'll just do the hot take video this Friday. So you get 2 videos in 1. Yay! But I try to find out another news video for the next week, so wish me luck for that. But let's go over some hot takes that people have. I see these updates. I actually disagree with the take, no hate to Robbie, but I feel like having constant updates is what fixes the game, honestly. Because when you don't have updates, like for example, January we have really no updates, Piggy started to get dry. It started to get repetitive. You know what I mean? Because you can only have so much skins. And I feel like Piggy doesn't really have a way to go back to doing something unless you're doing the ad encounter. But once you complete everything, there's no reason to go back. There's no incline. Honestly, having more content update, like maybe more old skins for book 2 or extra old skins, or even more community skins every weekend can definitely fix an issue. So I feel like the actually the opposite. We need more updates actively than just not. Because we're going to have to wait till the end of January just to get the other skins and maybe the skin quest. But again, they said maybe, if we don't see Red so hard, they could delay something. So I wouldn't be shocked if they got delayed to February, but we'll see. A lot of people are speculating this weekend, which honestly I hope so, if not next weekend. I mean, there are only so many weekends of January you have before it's over. So I pray that like everything works out correctly, because we could be getting tape straight in February and then just get all the rest of the stuff in February and March. I pray that everything works out with Team SRR. But yeah, overall, we need more update for Piggy, so I disagree with that take. Willow. I feel like Willow is overrated. Honestly, I sort of agree. I feel like a lot of people act like Willow is the greatest thing that ever caught on Piggy, which she is, but I feel like looking back in like book 2, she doesn't really do that much. I mean, yes, you were rhyming the thing, and if we don't like get introduced to her until like later on, see the leader at TSP, which is very interesting. But over time, you can't really do anything else with the character. Piggy Memphis will hopefully fix Willow and Tyree relationships, but I feel like we don't get to see that much anymore. The closer we really got to them actually interacting was the hidden ending and a couple endings in Chapter 6. But we don't really get to see the relationship that much. So hopefully it can maybe fix the character hold that Willow and Tyree have, and maybe show more about the relationship and how they met. Overall, I also feel like, too, like, for them with the new chapter, like, she may not be the best leader, but we owe a lot to her. I feel like they could have been a little more detailed of why she's not the best leader. Yes, she's a very bad person. We know this, like, hurting the players and stuff like that. But I would they went in more detail of why Willow was bad to them. But instead, we got more of how Willow made the TSP, which isn't bad at all. But also at the same time, though, I don't really care about the TSP doing this if she's not even a bad leader. I just kind of find it saying is, oh, well, she may not be the best leader, but we still got to do this. Like, I guess. But overall, I do feel like Willow is a little overrated sometimes. I feel like a lot of people forget that Willow, again, when chapters appear likely coming out, we have to wait. Back in the day, a lot of people just saw Ellie would just spit like a flashback and that was it. And Willow would never go be like anything. But now she became like the most popular character of all time. So, yeah. And by the way, too, now we go further in the story, I feel like Willow like not as active in the story now. Now we're focusing on other characters. But hey, Intercity's only there while Piggy Misfits. So, they're going to prove me wrong soon. Thanks for Wither Rock Studios. Wow. But last take I talked about Team RTR. Now I'm in the drag Wither Rock Studios into this. So, wonder what the next take is going to be. They're using the flowing on the ground state animation too much. It was fun when Twilight did it, but I feel like almost every new skin does it now. Honestly, this take could make sense, but I feel like now the new skin will always do that. I mean, yes, you can argue, yeah, they sure do, but their community skin that don't really have the stun animation anymore, and they just do completely different things. But I never do see what you mean. It does get a little bit boring. But I feel like Twilight was pretty interesting, though, because it is a new take on the stun. Instead of it just the constant putting their hand over their head or shaking aggressively, I feel like I do like the stun. Personally, I feel like they should definitely do more different stuns, though, so not like repeating the same thing. Every stun should be unique. You know what I mean? Instead of the constant switching. I feel like maybe when they're generating a good skin, but how cool would it be if maybe still, like, maybe he drops in the corner or something like that. So definitely, I do feel like new skins should definitely be working on it. But I feel like most skins now are just either just twitching their head or they're falling on the ground. So yeah, I definitely think that hopefully the new skin like Mr. P ult or the Cloudy skin or even the new Tom skin or even the skin quest can hopefully get better stun animation than just the falling on the ground something. I mean, I do say like the Moopy alternate has a fall on the ground animation. The Gus has a fall on the ground animation. It does get a little bit boring sometimes. I do agree. I think it would have been cool with Gus. Maybe like one of them fall down, all of them collapse to the ground, or something like that. I think that would be a little bit better than instantly just falling to the ground like nothing happened. Or maybe like for example, you can hear like Moopy alternative, like fall like to freaking ragdolls to the ground instead of just instantly falling to the ground. That'd be kind of funny. And they're just ragdolls. He sucked. It's a trash copy of Granny. Granny sucks it well, not gonna lie, but let's disagree to agree. Honestly, in my opinion, Piggy doesn't suck. I mean, yes, it did start as a copy of Granny, but playing book 2 and playing like any other chapter outside of book 1 shows. I do like how Piggy started as a copy and slowly became an old thing now. So honestly, like even putting Decay Delirium and just even the new map, it doesn't even look like a copy of Granny anymore. It doesn't look nothing like it. Now I'm gonna be hopping over to Reddit and then Twitter. So this one is for a different user, but to ask for Piggy I'll take that one, you build them over here. See, if I was a big like following, I wouldn't be doing this, but like I don't have that big of a following, and like I need the videos to be a little bit longer than just like 6 minutes. So yeah, let's do it. Me and Buddy were both cut off too quickly after their introduction. Meanie and Giraffe deserve their own character focus chapter, so it's neither hot take, so it's a perfect hot takes. Honestly, I agree. I feel like the problem with book 1 is that the story was good. I feel like Chapter 1 drew 4 story, which is not it for me. 5 drew 8 was like picking it up. 9 drew 11 was masterpiece. But I feel like chapter 1 drew 4 had this habit of just you're getting Doggy, it's real quick, you get in the gallery, then you get introduced to Doggy, then he dies, get infected, then you meet Buddy. He doesn't even survive for 2 chapters, because after that, you're in the hospital, then you leave in the hospital, then he goes to the metro, and then Buddy dies. So I definitely agree that they had a lot of habit of killing out characters that couldn't stay inside the game. I mean, maybe it did fix my issue with Buddy in the Buddy character focus chapter, but it didn't really fix the issue that I had with Doggy. So maybe Giraffe did their old character focus chapters. I will 100% agree. Maybe he had his own personality, but a lot of people agree that Giraffe was pretty useless. I mean, until he did one thing what would stop people from a bullet. I find it funny that every time I say, "Oh, Giraffe useless," a lot of people say, "Oh, but he saved the player from a bullet and he saved Pony." I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't really do anything. I mean, even in the sewers, the most line of dollar I remember saying is, "Oh, Pony, I'm sorry I didn't believe you," and this and that. He doesn't really do anything. He's just there. You know what I mean? You can remove all the story and it wouldn't change anything. So having character focus chapter is point meeting with Giraffe after Giraffe got shot could definitely give a lot more character development to Giraffe, and after you fix that issue I have with him. So 100% agree. I feel like if Buddy and Doggy survived a little bit more longer, made it to book 2, would have been perfect. Like, how cool would it have been that Doggy survived with us and then Willow shot Doggy? That would have been an emotional payoff right there. And then Buddy, then just say Mr. P, we had to cut back the kid out Buddy. Or maybe Buddy decided to go and find Mr. P before the lab explodes or something like that. Or maybe they can have extra chapter between hospital and metro, so we had a longer time to know Buddy than just instantly killing out Buddy. I feel like something like that would have definitely fixed the character. Again, Buddy character would definitely fix the Decay and Delirium. We get to know a lot more of the backstory, so I definitely say it did redeem Buddy. But that doesn't fix Doggy and Mimi and Giraffe issue with just being there just to be there. AJ had considered doing a character focus chapter for Doggy, so we'll see how that goes. They made to greenlight it. But overall, I agree with the take. Not can the slide when Giraffe was shy. I wouldn't even mind if he died because basically contributing that into the story. I actually agree with the take. No hate to Maytune, but I feel like Giraffe would just not win it to me anything. I feel like book 1 had a lot of issue with story, but I feel like the main issue with book 2, other than Tio, is just how we got introduced late into Giraffe. Throughout book 1, he didn't do anything. In book 2, he only, a lot of people oh, well, he didn't do anything to the story, but he stopped someone from getting shot. I'm just but that's just so minor. He didn't earn up to it. I feel like if they for maybe more Giraffe and Pony in the player relationship and how maybe he helped him out, or maybe Giraffe did something better or something like that, I probably could have gave more slack to Giraffe, but he doesn't do anything that good to contribute and worry me caring for him. Maybe Giraffe will secretly there to help us out, you know what I mean? Maybe Giraffe kept doing more stuff for the player, or maybe Giraffe was there to try to stop Willow and saved her life like several times, maybe I would have cared. But it just came out of left field. It kind of feel like made to it just like, oh, well, Jirafi didn't really do anything to the story. What if we just randomly make it so Jirafi takes a bullet? You know what I mean? Like that gonna rid us mistakes. Again, if he did something more, he would have been good. He just there. He just like the Dolly Dipley, there's this self-insert type of thing where he just there. You could take him out of the story and wouldn't really do anything. And just you already, oh, well, the player would have got shot. Anyone else could have made that sacrifice. Mimi could have made that sacrifice. Anyone else could have. So yeah, I 100% agree. I did not care the slightest. I feel like character focus chapter with drafting Mimi can definitely fix this in the near future. So maybe hopefully in the future we can get actually like more of a story for them. He doesn't need a character focus chapter. He didn't love enough as it is. I disagree with this take. Honestly, as a Piggy fan, I feel like it's pretty disappointing looking back of how fast Doggy got killed. He wasn't in chapter 1. In chapter 2, he was just there. He realized he's like the police officer that like help us out, right? And then chapter 3, we kind of get a little exposition, kind of explaining about the affection and stuff like that, but no really big lore building for Doggy. And then chapter 4, you wake up and gets affected and already get killed off. Bring up, oh, but Hollow Break, what about Owlies? If you look back, Owlies was more just a settle for book 2. And maybe was just more of a backdoor pilot. Think about it this way. Doggy was just there to tell the player, oh yeah, this feels wrong, but we do what we have to. Instead of more for Doggy character that we don't get to follow up upon because the main shift is Willow, this wolf that we just met at first time, and we're do it to help for her family. That's why she was stealing, which we know one of them was doing a pie in the heist for some reason. LOL. So overall, I feel like ADY dog character for contender makes sense. A lot of people were like, oh, well, I think it would be cool to explore more doggy moral dilemma. Someone said, oh, well, should it be after the affection? I disagree. I feel like it should be like decay, where it's like a mix of part 1 and part 2, where you go kind of like after, where Doggy trying to escape. He escapes the forest, but it will be pretty short. It will be maybe taking 2 minutes to escape the forest. But then the wheel stuff actually starts before, where Teal maybe invade Doggy's mind and we get backstory. And maybe throughout some of the stuff you have to meet other crooks that are actually a huge threat to Doggy. And we can learn more about the player relationship from there. I feel like that would have been pretty dope and pretty cool. I just really wish that they actually, did say like that. I feel like that would have been pretty cool. I do hope in the near future we do get a Doggy character fucking chapter. It definitely will fix it. I feel like someone say he done enough. He really did enough. He gets introduced way too early and get killed off way too early to match it. So overall, I feel like I disagree with that take. The majority spin-off should not happen and said should be left to interpretation, but if it's not needed, will a Tiger story at a conclusion ending already? Okay, for the Midoriya spinoff, I sort of agree. I feel like it would not needed, but I can kind of understand why we would have more. I feel like the issue with Piggy, and I feel like another issue with Book 2 and Book 1, is that it focuses with the main cast. It's like My Little Pony. It focuses on the main... It doesn't do what My Little Pony does. We're sometimes it focuses on the main 6, but they're all multiple seasons and it focuses on different characters. But that's not what happened with Piggy. It mainly did focus on the main survivors, then add Willow to the mix. It doesn't really focus on other people, except for character focus chapters. So I feel like having a spin-off that has more of a story to tell you than just a character focus chapter in a game can definitely do a lot more. I feel like having Budgie and a lot of their Budgie the Liar, I feel like Budgie get introduced only for one chapter. It would have been cool to actually get a spin-off exploring more Budgie and that character development over there before the affection or joy the affection. That would be pretty cool. Hopefully Intercity can fix that. They say Misfit not needed, but I disagree. Personally, I feel like a lot of people think, oh, well, they hit it, Eddie had a good conclusion. Not really. I feel like we don't really get to see that much of Willow and Tiggery. I feel like Tiggery in Chapter 3 of Book 2 was just there. We know they kind of have an awkward relationship, and we know how they met. And I definitely feel like it is pretty powerful. But I feel like I really want to see kind of is Willow going to treat Tiggery as equals now? You know what I mean? And more of a backstory for Willow. And I feel like Tiggery's backstory kind of just there for breakout, but it was only there because we know we're going to see more of it. I feel like having Willow get more character development than she needed is kind of an issue, but I think it's going to be okay. And Tiggery having more character development will be pretty good. Because they kind of mentioned the military plot and no way go for it for breakout. having Tiger actually regret killing his friend and maybe opening up to Willow makes more sense. Also, I feel like having just something just outside of Piggy and just having those two be the main focus is pretty cool. Also, gameplay wise, having it be similar to the K is pretty good for some people. So overall, I would love to say I'm pretty excited to see it. And I do hope they do pretty well with the story. I feel like having Piggy Misfits would be pretty cool. You know what I mean? I can't find the post because I kind of made this hot take myself. I think way too fair that mine too. That Piggy is a skin collecting game. I agree with the take. I am sorry, but I feel like a lot of paid community now only care about skins. Let me explain. I feel like ever since Magic came out and Breakout came out, it was just a habit that every bot you see automatically just becomes a skin. Like, even the bot memory right now becomes a skin. So when Tristan Rabbit came along and wanted a skin, people were furious and outraged. And I feel like ever since then, people mainly care about a skin. When Pig 64 came out, I feel like people only did it just to get Nor. And I feel like for Piggy and Misfits, people are only going to play the game just to get that skin. Which honestly, no hate to getting skins, but I also feel like if you only play it for that reason and not actually caring about the actual overall story, I feel like that's kind of a bit of an issue, honestly. But I definitely agree that Piggy definitely becoming more of a skin collecting game now. Another hot take too that Piggy has way too much complication with the rarity that I 100% agree to. I feel like main 2 should bring back seasons. Not to say like it's unfair for new players, but I feel like there's so many skin quests, it's so many worse skins, and not even fair for new players anymore. You know what I mean? So I think like bringing back season will be pretty good for some people. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with that take that there is a lot like worse skin quests. I feel like there's so many. I am glad they're starting to put their foot down. Like for them with Mrs. P going to stay in the game, AJ and Pekka ain't going to stay in the game, but this new skin quest that we're going to get, we don't know if that's going to stay in the game or not. But just stuff like that. So, overall, yeah. As somebody who plays the June 2020, I don't get why Holiday Lotus skin can't come back except see this skin the core like best and promos along with traps. Okay, no hate to them at all when I say this, but I feel like some stuff deserves to be aware. I did mention a couple of takes ago that I feel like Piggy had a lot of complication when it comes to what is rare and what isn't. And I always say this, having different ways of skin be rare too complex. So we have season skins that are rare, then we have maps, and then they'll become rare, and then like we got quest skins. I feel like just having skin quests just being rare is okay, but having season and then other this stuff, it is confusing. You know what I mean? Unless you're on the Piggy Wiki, you don't actually know what came what and what came this. So overall, I disagree. I feel like skin quests should stay rare. Because either you get it or you didn't. I feel like seasons, however, should stay in the game and just be able to be purchased again. The reason why is for a couple reasons. For one, Billboard Shop. The Billboard Shop, no way to them. But I feel like it would be better if you have on the payment Robux added to redo season to get the thing faster than guaranteed. Second reason, too, is that some of the stuff like alternate skin, the cosmetic you missed out on. And I feel like, you know what I mean, seasons, the final skin are pretty cool, and I feel like the skin quests are pretty basic, so why not keep up the basic skins? I miss the season. I really wish I did. I really wish I did it. We got Carver and all those skins are super duper cool and awesome, but I don't have the skins. I generally feel like I hope May 2 can bring back season, honestly. I feel like those should be the one thing that they should bring back. I feel like most people can agree that season should come back and skin quests should just stay where. I feel like Poli should just stay where. I'm sorry for a new player that want Poli so bad. It just should stay where. It's a Joe-Bay collab. It should just keep its rarity on already. I feel like the Pig 64 key skins, those should have stayed where. I feel like those should have been stayed in the game. Overall, in my opinion, I feel like skin quests should stay where. However, see, this skin should not be stayed where, though. I feel like we can not like Roblox, not like Fortnite, where the issue is that you pay money for battle passes and kind of slap in the face for people that pay money for the battle pass can come back. You get it for free. You know what I mean? The only issue is time and just like how much you pay to restart a quest. So I feel like it's more better for seasons to come back with the new time style for seasons, and for new players they can enjoy it. And maybe for like old players they can get like piggy coin for compensation or something like that. Or there's some way to be able to redeem old season skin. I feel like it'll be cool if I'm able to give old season skin to someone else. Or maybe I'm able to, let's just say, I have an alternate account, I have all the season skins, I can just like sell those skins, get a certain amount of coin, and transfer it to my other account or something like that. I feel like that would be pretty cool. to prevent any like trading or something like that. I feel like that would be cool. Like for future seasons, I can use alternate accounts or something like that, or I can have like an alternate account to like sell those seasons for that, like sell those season skins and those items, and then have a other main account still play that season and item, so I can still get to your skin. Something like that would be pretty nice for OG players and for people that are new. So overall, that's my opinion about it. But yeah, I wouldn't really go end the video 10 minutes long, but I think I want the video to be 1 hour because I like torturing myself. So yay! The chain isn't a good skin. Honestly, I'm kind of in the middle with the take. I feel like I like the skin overall. Like, the scariness and everything is good. I just feel like a couple of things they should have did was... I mean, even Alec Rose said the chain skin when the Wendigo had, like, the phantom thing to show that the chain when it went on and on and on. But it just cut off awkwardly. So when you play, like, maps like Play, it's so just awkward to see the chain skin just get cut off. And I feel like the jump scare is kind of lame. But, again, they can't really do anything with the jump scare. Maybe the stun should have been something else or something a little more core. Like, maybe the stun should have been maybe them escaping from the chain or something like that. Or maybe the stun will have the chain fall down and they like collapse on the floor or something like that. Overall, I feel like the chasing could have probably been better, honestly. But another take on that with all they did to get rid of Tristan Rabbit. I do feel like the Tristan Rabbit, I'll take it, that probably should have been a skin. No hate to Main or anything whatsoever. But I feel like when you have an argument, it doesn't feel the Arsenal of Piggy. I get that argument. I 100% support it. I understand some teams don't feel the Arsenal of Piggy. You know what I mean? Like, we can't have freaking My Little Pony and Piggy in a horror game. But the issue is, when you have the chain skin that is from the K Delirium, it's the same art style, which kind of did prove the argument. And then a lot of people also mentioned that Epic Take said, oh yeah, it can work in the game, which also did prove that argument. So I definitely feel like if they ever would add Tristan Rabbit as a skin, I feel like we should definitely have it maybe at the K Hard Mode or something like that. And hopefully people will be a lot more nicer. I definitely feel like the paid community would kind of be in a jerk. You know what I mean? But overall, hopefully in the future we can probably have it as a skin. If not, I'm okay with what we have. But I definitely feel like, though, for like even like a skin collector perspective and an overall overview, having the chain skin, which is one of Bunny's sister, but not the other one, just doesn't really make any sense. It's like having Zilly without Pony or Peanut Butter without Jelly. Like, it doesn't really, like, it's not a good complete set. But at the same time, though, I can see if we were never going to get it. I do wish, though, the chain skin had the feature of it just going on forever and maybe have a better stun animation. But I feel like the chain skin is pretty overpowered. Like, the stun animation, you can't even tell they get stunned. So you just, like, pretend like you're stunned and just sneak up on people. Jeff feels to continue the Piggy roleplay series again. Okay, hot take. I mean, sorry, not even a hot take because these are my spots to hot takes. I disagree with the take. He did a film with a bad person, did a lot of stuff and meant for the Piggy community. The fact that made you have to have someone else reanimate despite that was skin, all we can made to was two stubborn after you just take an apology like a man, show that he does deserve to be in the Piggy community. Honestly, if people do that, people are going to love them and forget about the drama, and people already forgot about the drama way. Periods of film. So overall, he should have continued it. He should have never touched Piggy ever again. We don't want him here, and that's how it should be. It should be like, it probably will be like Gryffindor all over again when they try going Forsaken, and then they get banned and say, "Oh, we don't want you here," and then they try to pretend like nothing happened and go just be like that. So it's good if PDF will never touch Piggy ever again. Honestly, in my opinion, he should just delete a channel to get off the platform, but I can't control him. But that's my opinion. We should have gotten a Bunny character for the chapter. I actually disagree. I feel like the issue with Bunny is just, I feel like Bunny doesn't really did anything unless you have the kid. There's so much fun fact you can know about Bunny that's why I feel like Bunny actually matters for stuff like Decay. Another thing a lot of people mention is that Decay was more of its spirits. I actually agree. I feel like Decay gameplay-wise is pretty boring. The puzzle just here and there. One more just experience. I feel like there really no replayability. I feel like Decay Never mode and stuff like that can definitely have replayability, but for now, they kind of like that. Decay better than Delirium. I do not agree with the take at all. Delirium was way better for story-wise, the gameplay-wise, in my opinion. Even the chase was better. Saying Decay was better, honestly, no. I don't even touch the game or actually really play Delirium.
That's all I have to say. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you made this far, comment the hottest take in the mall is Hollow Break. That'll be pretty funny. That's all I have to say. Peace.